Well, here we are. We are returning to Plave. And the interesting thing is that the outpouring of support for Plave on this channel was almost too much it was too undeniable. So I knew that I had to come back to him because apparently Plave is pretty well beloved. Yes, indeed. Now, the truth is that this week I wanted to do a focus on K-Rock. And you probably, if you saw it in the community tab, I talked about this. And apparently Plave kind of plays into a little bit into a rock kind of feel. So I wanted to kind of come back and see what more they have to offer. So let's do it. We're doing the 6th Summer. I was told that I was going to really like this song. So I believe you. Let's check it out.
영원을 말해줘 꿈이한 이 길은 온도 속을 지나면 반짝일 거라고 소나기가 내려오면 네가 잠시 보낼 거야 눈에 부신 그날의 기억은 기적이니까 좀 더 멀리 닿을 수 있을까 길고 긴 요정에 마침 별 찍을 수만 있다면 마지막 땀방울의 결말은 헛된 길이 아닐걸 잘 알아 반복되는 계절의 중간에 있어도록 바랬던 어둠 속에 빛을 찾고 말았어
This is awesome.
내는 시간을 넘어서 다른 이곳은 여섯 번째 여름의 시작이었단 걸 꿈꿨어 푸른 하늘 마치 눈물 같아 날이 밝아도 결국 쏟아진다 하염없이 달려온 길 위에 속도를 올렸어 망설이다 전부 다 놓쳐버릴까 또 7번의 여름은 없을 거라고 끝이 없던 평행 곡선 결국 같은 곳을 지나왔어 좀 더 멀리 닿을 수 있을까 길고 긴 여정에 마침 별 찍을 수만 있다면 마지막 땀방울의 결말은 헛된 길이 아닐걸 잘 알아 반복되는 계절의 중간에 있어도록 바랬던 어둠 속에 빛을 찾고 말았어 너에게로 달려가 내린 시공간을 넘어서 다른 이곳은 여섯 번째 여름의 시작이었단 걸 꿈꿨어 꿈일까 우리 함께하는 이 순간 마법 같은 하루가 결국엔 사라질까 끝일까 찬란히 반짝이던 눈물의 기적 빛나줘
Interesting.
반복되는 계절의 중간에 있어도록 바랬던 어둠 속에 빛을 찾고 말았어 너에게로 달려가 내 시간을 넘어서 다른 이곳은 여섯 번째 여름의 시작이었단 걸 꿈꿨어
Interesting. Okay, first and foremost, I had to point this out. Here in the back, right above his shoulder, that's totally a reference to Dragon Ball Z. Oh, okay. My initial thoughts on this was actually more of a feeling of like, this feels a little bit like an OST. And I don't think that's a bad thing, by the way. And we've heard a lot of really good OSTs on the channel. And to me, this kind of, in a weird way, reminds me of like early 2000s movies, like OSTs, like the love interests finally realize that they like each other, and suddenly it starts playing kind of a rock song, like a little more of an upbeat rock song, kind of like this, and I don't know, it gave that vibe to me. And the funny thing is, honestly, that's kind of like a like a guilty pleasure theme for me. I really feel like that there is so much of that kind of music that I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm all about the about this kind of music. Again, this is probably the most unique thing I've seen on the channel in so many ways. Like, I love the fact that this is like real people being able to go and be idols, but cutting out what can sometimes be like the negative part of things, I guess, in a sense, which is obviously like sometimes, you know, beauty standards, or, you know, talking about this, that, or the other, or, you know, obviously things like having a hard time being in public without being mobbed. And I mean, that's kind of just how it is for most celebrities in general. So it's kind of like a perfect balance, but at the same time, the music concept, I would have not pegged this as being like a group that would have been more along the rock style of things. I think that that's actually kind of one thing that I found the most interesting, is the fact that they kind of leaned into a little bit more of a mature sound. And I think that that could have very easily been, this group could have very easily been like a super cutesy act or group that could, you know, really take advantage of being animated. But you know what? They stand on business with their music. It's got a mature sound, but at the same time too, I feel like that there's just a really good sense of just who they are. You know, like, I feel like that I know as much about them as I do any other idol. And to keep the humanity part intact, I think it was actually really tricky to do, but very much appreciated. You know, I always say that like the biggest shocks or like surprises was like B2B and Infinite, and then I think to myself, like, I could honestly probably put Plave in that same group, in the sense of like, this is not what I was expecting, but it's way better than what I was expecting too at the same time. So I don't know, it's really cool. So for the song itself, I really like the fact that it starts off really kind of in this quiet, you know, singular guitar, acoustic guitar, and just the vocals. Even like the guitar is doing the percussion there. And of course, as you kind of get built into it, they add more stuff to it. No, this is a good balance. I like this a lot. I think there's, again, it's kind of got a prog feel to it. And when prog is done right, I think it's actually some of the most effective music. And it's not, whenever I talk about prog too, I don't feel like that the next thing that I have to always say is like, and it is not being super snooty or like, well, you know, high and mighty feel behind it. Yes, I'm part of a prog rock group. We like to play on odd time signatures, and it's like sometimes you lose the idea that prog is meant as something more like this. You know, in a more popular and accessible sense, this is perfect. No, that's really cool. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. Thank you, and goodbye.